we have to remember that on the other side, there is the alternative. The prospective future size of the immigrant population shall be reduced, then the government would, in such matters as taxation, naturally and logically behave not on the assumption that this is a population permanently domiciled here, but that it is a population only temporarily domiciled here. And therefore, I'm pointing out that to talk about voluntary and compulsory as though they were single alternatives, monolithic alternatives, is nonsense. Compulsory in the sense in which this term is used, I'm sure, that the sense which it conveys to the general public is that a person would be physically seized and deported like a person being taken on board Majesty's ships of war at the end of the 18th century. I draw it short of that. But we have to remember that on the other side, there is the alternative. We have to remember that we are making a choice of necessities, though to return to one's own country does not to most people, though it makes some appear to be an evil. But on the other side, there is a certain evil, and that is an evil as fearful for the immigrant population as it is for the rest. And that is bound to influence one's view of the public policy, which is justified as a means of increasing the readiness of the population to take advantage of what is offered. What will be the consequences over 5 or 10 years of a series of public policies? I don't think it's intimidation to tell a man that he doesn't get tax relief. The whole atmosphere, all the pressure of opinion, all the pressure of government has been to say, this is permanent. Are you saying that a nation should not engage in a war, a defensive war, or that a general should not commit his troops to battle unless he has decided in advance what he is going to do or they are going to do if they are defeated? I can't imagine that one initiates a policy upon the basis of deciding in advance what one will do if it fails. In most cases, they are the citizens of their country's origin, under the laws. So I'm dealing with the question of a legal difficulty in that there isn't a legal home any longer. An Englishman born to missionaries in China is still an Englishman. We are talking about them individually. Let's go back to my Englishman, the second generation born of missionaries in China. His home is England. He's always thought it's his home. No one would doubt that it was his home. His home certainly isn't China, unless indeed he has opted out of his citizenship and opted out of his attachment. But they don't argue that this is their home. The majority of them regard, well, wherever it may be, as their home. It is simply unrealistic to pretend that these people, all here in increasingly massive numbers, regard this country as their home. Because they are born in this territory, our law, which has a feudal basis, treats them, as it were, as the product of the soil and appropriates them. They are born within the dominion, but in the eyes of the law of their own countries, they are citizens of a country. They also have a right to hold a passport of their country of origin. It depends which passport they apply for. They are entitled to a British passport. But I do wish you would cease to be so inhuman as to treat this as a matter of a travel document which a person holds, and pay attention to the humane and deep meaning of the concept of home. And what I have to tell you is that for these people, it is insulting to tell them that this country is their home. It is as insulting as it would be to tell an Englishman born of English parents in India that therefore India and not England is his home.